We are going to be talking about weight loss, of course, but not just weight loss, because this is not one of those things, lose 40 pounds in a month, lose 50 pounds in 2 months. Like, this is not one of those things. This is not what I speak about. I speak about improving. If you are a person who suffers from insulin resistance, PCOS, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and you are trying to reverse those things, manage, get your PCOS symptoms to be managed. Like, that's the thing that I speak on. So the thing is, with doing that, weight loss is a result, y'all. Weight loss is a result from doing the things that your body enjoys. And so that's what we're going to speak on today: how to lose weight if you are a person who battles with insulin resistance, PCOS, type 2 diabetes, or you are pre-diabetic. Now, you know, I get a lot of people who kind of ask me like, did you make a typo on this? Did you mean this? So for instance, let me give y'all an example. On my YouTube page, I had put some top mistakes that I was making while being a person who was pre-diabetic, insulin resistant, and suffer from undiagnosed PCOS. It was undiagnosed because my doctor just refused to test me for it, no matter how much bad my symptoms were. And so some things that I finally stopped doing. So just so you guys know, I have officially lost 45 pounds, 100% naturally, and I have been able to sustain this 45-pound weight loss. Now, a reset is coming for me, and I hope that you guys join this, because I've really been slacking. Like, I've learned how to now lose the 45 pounds and keep this 45 pounds off, but now I've gotten comfortable with knowing how to not gain the weight back, but I'm not losing the weight how I was. And so I've gotten real comfortable. We about to have a reset going on, and I really hope that y'all join in on this reset. So just to give y'all a little glimpse on what this reset is going to be: you are a person who suffers from really bad sugar cravings. If you are a person who suffer from really bad carb cravings. If you are a person who will actually consider yourself a healthy eater, but for some reason you are still not losing weight. If you are a person who goes to the gym a lot, like I said, eat healthy, but you still have not been able to lose the weight that you want to lose, or reverse your symptoms, they're still staying the same, then this reset is going to be for you. So we'll talk more about the reset through this live, but y'all come on in and tap the hearts. So somebody was like, hey, you said that you stopped lifting weights. Do you mean that you started lifting weights? Because I thought lifting weights was okay. I think you made a typo. You put that you stopped lifting weights to lose weight. Did you mean that you started lifting weights to lose weight? No, like, I didn't have a typo. That was 100% correct. So a lot of things that, some mistakes that I made, that I thought that I was making a healthy lifestyle change, but I wasn't. And if you are a person who you've been fit majority of your life, but maybe you just, are postpartum, so you just had a baby, or you've always had a fitness background, so kind of your muscles are more trained, you just haven't, been focused on like stimulating them, or if you're a person who have been thin like the majority of their life, then the things that I say probably won't align with you. So I'm a person who I can remember back in probably about 3rd to 4th grade, like I was already, I didn't look at myself as being heavy set or full figured, or chubby, or whatever term that they wanted to call. I called a girl at that time. I didn't look at myself as being that, but I definitely was kind of developed. And so even in 3rd grade, like I already had wore like a C-cup bra, and like I already kind of had like thighs. You know, it was still a smaller frame, but I had those things even in 3rd grade. So by the time I got to middle school, I was already like in a D cup. You know, at 11, 12 years old, I already had pretty much the shape of, you know, a 18 or 19-year-old person. And so that had pretty much been my body shape. Like I was always a thicker person. I never was thin. I was always a person who couldn't understand why the girls, you know, picked the pepperoni off the pizza at the lunch table. Like, girl, why you not eating that pizza? Like, you letting a good pizza go to waste. You just eating the toppings. I wasn't the cheerleader. I dealt with a lot of things with my health, and so with that, it caused the doctors to tell like my mom to keep me away from, or to keep me out of, you know, physical activities and things that would, you know, make me sweat and all of that. And so with that, like, I wanted to play basketball, but then I ended up having to not play that. I wasn't the shape of a cheerleader. Like, when I compared my body shape to their body shape, you know, when we're in middle school, or sorry, I wanted to make sure that y'all connected. When we in middle school in like 9th grade, like everybody was stick figures, everybody was this thin. But me, I already had a shape like a full-grown woman, and so I just always felt left like on the outskirt because I wasn't this thin, you know, person. I was already probably in about a size 11, 12. And then by the time I had got to high school, I stayed at probably like around a size 13. So I was a solid size 13, which is like, in my eyes now, that's considered, you know, pretty small. But in high school, when everybody is wearing a 5'6" pant and you a size 13, when, you know, I'm 36 now, so back then plus size really wasn't like as popular as it is now. And so even with clothing, all the discount clothes, I used to go to Rainbow and like the discount rack, they used to have like the $3 discount rack. It used to all have like the size small and 5'6", you know, size pad. And it might have been just one medium or large that I could find on there that I was trying to squeeze myself into. But basically all my clothes kind of look similar because I had to go to the plus size. So I could not really wear a lot of the fashionable things because of my weight. So my mom, she did, you know, buy me a lot of, she started buying me more like designer clothes. So I was like a Tommy Hilfiger girl. I love Tommy, so she used to go to Macy's and get me more Tommy stuff and like Levi's and things like that because I could find my size, and you know, everything was pretty much basic. But the clothes that all the other girls would wear, like, I couldn't never really be stylish until like the ball socks came out. Do y'all remember that? Like the color ball socks? When the color ball socks came out, and the shoes, like I always had the shoes. I always had, you know, try to keep up with what I could. But it was overwhelming to say the least because like I said, I wasn't the body type. You know, I didn't have that body type. And so I have suffered with insulin resistance most of my life. Like, I didn't even know at that time, being a teenager, that I was actually already insulin resistant. I did not know that. Now, once I got probably close to about 20, that's when I started to realize that I was insulin resistant. But actually, it had nothing to do with my weight of why I knew that. I knew that I was insulin resistant because of certain like autoimmune disorders that I had, and you know, things that like, you know, the headaches and vision blurry and all of that. I had been suffering with that for a very, very long time, but I didn't never equate weight to insulin resistant. And like I said, it's still not even being talked about to this day, and I'm 36. Yeah, I did not brush my hair out, sorry. So fast forward to today, I've learned about insulin resistance, how it affects the weight, how it's really a roadblock to the weight, and how you have to do things differently and eat differently. And so insulin is the #1 hormone in our bodies. Insulin is the #1 hormone in our bodies. And when you are insulin resistant, pre-diabetes, you have insulin resistant PCOS, or you are type 2 diabetic, your insulin is not functioning how it's supposed to be. Why is your insulin not functioning how it's supposed to be? Because you have reached a stage to being insulin resistant. Becoming insulin resistant means that you have your liver is overloaded with sugar, or aka glucose. So a lot of times, you guys, if you watch my videos, I'll use sugar, glucose, and insulin, I'll use those words all interchangeably. They're kind of the same thing, but not really, but just for the sake of the sentence and me trying to convey it more in simpler terms for you guys to understand it, I'll use those terms all interchangeably. So insulin, having an insulin spike is something that our body is naturally supposed to do. It's basically the flip on light. And so when you eat something, it's like stepping into the room and turning the light on. Your body naturally does that. And then that gets processed through your liver. Your liver then sends things out, processes that for energy. So it's like using coal. Back in the day, how they used to, or having a, let's just say it's about to be winter, so a lot of people have the wood burning fireplace. Okay, so you, when you eat, it's just like taking the wood and putting it into the wood burning fireplace. The wood burning fireplace is you could say is your liver. Your liver now produces that into having heat. So now your house is warm. Well, when you are insulin resistant, it's like you piling the fireplace with tons and tons of wood. It's trying to burn it. But it can't burn it fast enough to keep your energy levels going properly. That means that you have developed something now is called insulin resistant. So this is a different analogy I use. I usually use a fuel kind of analogy. Or I say it's like if you plug your phone charger in to the wall and your phone gets to 100. You would think if you left your phone plugged up like that for like a week or 2 weeks, that it would like make your battery be even more charged. But the funny thing is, you can have your charge, if you have done that before, as soon as you take your phone off a charger, probably like an hour later, your phone is almost like dying. Because you have actually burnt out the charger, the battery, in your phone. So that is the same thing that goes with insulin resistance. You have actually, we'll say, burnt out your liver. You have gave your liver so much energy, more energy than it can process at one time, that now it's malfunctioning. And so to start to control your hormones, just say when I first tried to like go all the way healthy, this was even the beginning of this year. And so I lost 40 pounds in 4 months once I switched to doing things to benefit my insulin. And so, but the beginning of this year, I was like, hey, I'm gonna start going to the gym. And this gym, I can take my kids, but then this other gym, it has the sauna as well. So I actually got 2 gym memberships. So I was working out a lot. I started to make sure that every time that I went to the gym, that I would do at least 3 to 4 miles. Then, you know, I'm constantly on social media. So I would see like, hey, the fitness girls, you know, they got the bodies, they got the glutes. Like, I started being scared of like, hey, I don't want my body to be flabby. I want to be able to gain the muscle and, you know, to have that hourglass shape and the glutes and all of that stuff. So let me start incorporating weights into my journey. Then I said, okay, I think that I'm just gonna cut out like regular cane sugar, because I know that I shouldn't be eating sugar. So, I mean, we all know that sugar is not healthy. And so I started saying, well, I'm just gonna start having honey and date syrup. So I would make me like chicken teriyaki, but I would make my own sauce with like the date syrup and things like that. I would start my morning off with a good smoothie. If I was hungry and I needed something convenient, instead of going to like grabbing McDonald's, I'm like, hey, it's a Smoothie King right here. So I would get a smoothie with the pineapples and all of that stuff in there. Fast forward, some months had passed and my stomach was so bloated. I had not been losing, like the weight wasn't coming off. And I was just so frustrated because I didn't know why the weight wasn't coming off when I really had made a lifestyle change. Like, I was not eating sugar. I was doing honey instead. I was doing my fruits instead. I was going to the gym and making sure that I did like almost 10,000 steps every time I was in there. I was lifting. I was doing all of these things, right? So a regular functioning body should like start to have results. I didn't realize that I didn't have a regular functioning body. My liver is not functioning regular. If you have insulin resistance or any diagnosis that stems from that, your liver is not functioning regular. So actually, by me doing those things, I was not only still messing up my insulin, because I learned that fruit is fructose. Honey is still sugar. Honey is not low glycemic. It's not a low sugar content. It's still a high sugar content. Date syrup, coconut sugar, all of these things that we are saying, hey, it's not sugar, it's on the natural side. So it's good because it's natural. Our body doesn't know that. Our body just knows that you just gave it a lot of sugar. It don't know what form the sugar was in. It just knows that it's sugar. It's still going to get used as glucose. It's still going to go to your liver. You still just gave your liver more sugar. I also didn't realize that when I'm lifting, I'm putting my body underneath stress. Even though it's a healthy stress, our body doesn't know that. Our body knows that it's just stress. Now, if you are a person who have been an athlete before, if you are a person who has always been fit, but like I said, maybe you're just losing weight from postpartum, maybe you just have an extra little like belly fat on your guts, but it's not really much, so you really just toning up and building a whole lot of muscle. So the fat that you lose, like you could just lose probably 5% of fat and your muscles gonna stick out like boom. I'm not that girl. So if you resonate with me, then you're probably not that girl. And so when I'm lifting, trying to mimic what the girls are doing that are not like me, that were probably the cheerleaders and all of that in school, that probably did play basketball, that probably did have some type of fitness in, you know, their genes, that they probably was a person who was small throughout like their whole life until they got into adulthood, who was considered like skinny. I've never been, because like the last time somebody called me skinny or that kind of term, you know, any of those terms, I probably was about 7 or 8 years old when I was called that, when I can remember being called that. Other than that, I can only be remembering being called thick, being called developed, being called just my doctor saying I'm overweight, and just all of these terms, but skinny was never the term. And so it's been a long time, to say the least, since I heard that word. And so if you resonate with that and you a girl like me, then lifting and all the things that I was doing to put stress on my body, even though it's healthy stress, my body, like, it gives you cortisol. So now my body is in the mode to lift. And so with that, it's in the mode to, you know, hold on to weight instead of losing the weight, because I just added stress to my body, even though it was healthy stress, because I'm raising my cortisol levels, which is another hormone in our body. And so I already don't have a healthy functioning hormone, which is insulin. And then I'm doing these other things that are causing my other hormones to be out of control, which is cortisol. And so now I'm telling myself I'm doing everything healthy. I'm doing what these people are doing, but I'm not getting the same results. What's going on? I'm frustrated because I'm not losing the weight. And I really, you guys, like I said, I don't talk about this much, but I really just had to pray about it and really pray about it, because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know, because I really thought that now I was doing things healthy. And with that, stumbled across my desk about insulin and insulin resistance and learning more about PCOS, because a lot of videos that I was watching about it, how people were losing weight with PCOS, they were having injections, or they were on Ozempic, or having the VSG or something of that nature. And I was so scared to do that, because I just seen people have so many different side effects, and my body is very sensitive with side effects. And I'm just like, I wanted to do it naturally. I just felt that I wasn't 600 or 700 pounds. And so I really wanted to do it naturally, because I felt like that it was still possible. At first, I'm just like, I'm into doing this and nothing's happening, but I just still felt like it was possible. So I definitely thank God for allowing me to understand the information that he was giving me. And just the trust and the vulnerability to say, you know what, I'm about to try it again, but I'm about to try it this way. And so now that leads us to the reset, y'all. So the way that I tried was, first, like I said, understanding sugar. I had to understand sugar. I didn't understand sugar. I didn't understand low glycemic. I didn't understand high glycemic. I didn't know what those things were. I thought that if I ate fruit, it shouldn't matter, because I'm not eating sugar, I'm eating fruit. If I'm putting honey in my tea, then that's still healthy. I'm not putting a whole lot of sugar in my tea. And so I had to understand that when you are a person who suffers from any of these diagnoses, those are read in our body the exact same way. It's read in our body the exact same way. And so I had to go on a detox, because I also, just through the years of yo-yo dieting, I realized that I had a bad sugar addiction. And so, yeah, I wasn't eating the table sugar anymore, but best believe, baby, I went through like 2-3 bottles of date syrup. I was going through bottles of honey. I hadn't went through that much honey in I don't know how long, but because I had cut that table sugar out, and just thinking that that was the only thing that was considered sugar was the table sugar, because that's how I looked at it, I didn't understand that I was like just shoving down anything else that was really considered sugar, but I didn't know. I just knew that I was constantly hungry and I wanted to eat. And why am I not losing weight? Because I'm eating healthy. Like, these things are healthy. They're in more so in the health area of the grocery stores. So the first step was battling and getting a sugar dependency under control. For me to stop being sugar dependent, I was very sugar dependent, and I had to learn what sugar was. And so within 4 months, I lost 40 pounds. Like I said, I've lost 45 pounds now currently. And I had posted and everybody's like, what did you do? What'd you do? Well, what was the first steps? And I end up making an e-guide, and it's called Tame the Beast, because sugar and being sugar reliant or sugar dependent or sugar addiction, whatever words you want to say that makes it more comfortable with you to hear it and to accept it, I created something. And so I broke it all down in a 4-week challenge. And so, sorry, so this was about a month and a half ago. And I ended up having almost 600 people download this, right? It was a free download. I did it 100% free. And they were able to tame the beast. It's the Tame the Beast challenge. So now, y'all, I revamped it because I just wanted it to be a little bit more organized. It wasn't as organized as I wanted it to be, and it didn't look and have the information all in there how I wanted to have. And then just the questions and things that I've gotten along the way, I've been able to adjust those as well. Access is on sale right now for $17, which is a steal. Because plan with full access, you'll get all of it. So you'll get a meal plan for every single week, one day, so you'll know like what that kind of looks like. You also get a food list for every single week. You'll get a full list for every single week. You'll get the vitamin list. You'll get and what they actually do. I'm gonna do a whole 360, like I said, of a video and pictures, and then y'all gonna see what just the 4-week challenge did, because I'm doing it with y'all, and I'm gonna keep on doing this with y'all. So definitely join in. Till next time, y'all, thanks for tuning in so much. If you are watching this on YouTube, the replay, thanks so much for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, then what you doing? Go ahead and subscribe, because it's a lot more information to come. And you listen, we about to break some obstacles. We about to get through some obstacles. So just go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, y'all, I love y'all. Bye.